late last month, an inquiry began into the prescription of anti-epilepsy drug Epilim on the basis of the drug causing birth defects if used during pregnancy.
Joining us to discuss this is mother of three and chairperson of the Organisation of Anti-Convulsant Syndromes Ireland, Karen Keely, along with solicitor Ciara McPhillips. Thank you both so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. So, Karen, can we start with you? You use the drug Epilim because you have epilepsy. When were you prescribed this drug?
I was prescribed it between when I was a child, around 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Usually, that's when I was prescribed it.
Yeah.
From then on, I took it, not a bother. There wasn't any issues. It was a very good drug for me, very effective for my epilepsy. Then, when I was 17, I became pregnant. Nobody said anything about the drug. I wasn't, I've been on the drug all my life. Didn't even second guess it.
Yeah.
Then I went up to my GP. And when I went to my GP, he told me, well, my mum went into his father, I went into the son, and we were told to go to Crumlin, CHI Crumlin, because I was still in paediatrics.
Yeah.
So we went there, and when we went to paediatrics, I was already 4 months pregnant. I didn't think anything of it. Doctor didn't say anything to me.
Yeah.
So with that...
You were 17 years old. You were taking a drug you'd taken since you were 7 years old. You think everything is going to be fine.
Yeah.
So when did you discover? When did you think there was something wrong with you? Because you've got three children.
Yeah. On my first boy, I got pregnant, and when he was born with a lot of issues.
Yeah.
A lot of issues. Then when he was 2 years old, he got a final diagnosis of cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy, mentally retarded. And so I just, went along with it, okay, it can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
That's what they said,
Yeah.
That's what everybody said. From there on, I went on to have a second child, who was planned. Now, he was, to the T, he was planned.
Yeah.
I was told about spina bifida and cleft palate.
Yeah.
And the percentage of that. And
was that to do with the drug that you were taking?
That was to do with the drug.
So this was the first time it had been mentioned with
It was
Epilim.
never mentioned to me.
It had never been mentioned. So on your second child, they said there could be a risk of spina bifida and cleft palate. That's what they said.
I was still under the impression on the first child it was one of those things.
Yeah.
So the second child, I was had to give him birth. He was 3 months, 2 to 3 months premature. He has a lot of difficulties with his breathing. Further on down, he had Asperger's. He had facial features. He did, especially on the hands and his feet. He still suffers, with his feet. So then that was that. Then following that, I went on to have another baby. But that wasn't planned.
Yeah.
It was just, I was finished on my second child.
It happened, yeah.
Yeah. And when I told the doctor, I went up to the GP, and he told me, neurologist, go to your neurologist. When I went to the neurologist, he said, well, it's too late.
Sorry, so this is all to do with you continuing the whole time to take your anticonvulsant drug Epilim so that you won't have seizures.
Yeah.
So you were on the medication the entire time for all 3 pregnancies. It was never flagged.
Well, it was flagged on the second one in relation, to spina bifida
like you were saying.
Cleft palate.
Yeah. So tell us now, how old are your babies, or with your babies then?
Harry is 38. He's really badly impacted.
Okay. There's your family there.
And then we have Lee, he's 30.
30.
And then we have Lorcan, who is 26.
Okay.
And they all have different issues. You know, it's ongoing, their issues.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
No, I'm not.
There's a lot of families.
I knew there had to be. I couldn't be the only woman in Ireland with 3 special needs boys. I didn't know what was wrong with them. You know, so I went into the neurologist, or paediatrician neurologist.
Yeah.
And I said to him, there is no way I can be the only person in Ireland with 3 special needs boys. There has to be something wrong.
Yeah.
And that's when I was sent to genetics. And plus, Lorcan was identical to Harry in features. And I mean identical.
So that's your eldest, who's 38, and Lorcan is 26.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is now estimated that up to 1,000 children have been impacted since the 1970s.
Over 1,000, yeah.
Over 1,000. Yeah. By mothers who were taking this anticonvulsant drug, Epilim, and the outcomes for their babies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have been trying to get answers for a very long time.
Yeah, I've been trying, and I was answers, the awareness, everything on this.
Ciara, where you're involved in this now?
Yeah, so we're a medical negligence law firm. We were approached by a woman whose child was affected. And I suppose, different to Karen at first, I thought this was one person affected, but started to look into it, started to research it for the purpose of this one family's case. And it quickly came to my attention that there were so many people affected, and that there was an issue, and that in other countries, France and the UK, investigations and inquiries were up and running. We took that first case for a mum who had epilepsy, had took the drug, and whose child was affected. And then through that we met other families and have taken other cases. And then we started cross paths with Karen and Oaks, the charity. And Karen asked us if we'd become involved to help Oaks with the inquiry process.
What kind of stories are you hearing, or are we expected to hear in the inquiry as a result of this?
Yeah, so I suppose broadly speaking, the inquiry has 2 purposes. It's to give a voice to the families, so the stories about what's happening in homes up and down the country is actually heard, and ultimately then to find out who knew what about this drug, when did they know about it, and why was that information not passed on to the women who were taking the drug. We know in the UK, because they've already had their inquiry a number of years ago, that their regulator, and this is a quote, decided not to tell women at the earliest opportunity because it would cause fruitless anxiety. But I know from speaking to mums like Karen, who have children who will always be children. Like Karen talks about her babies and their kids in their 20s and 30s. And Karen and mums like Karen are worried about who's going to care for those kids when they're no longer here, because they've no prospect of living independent lives. That's
not fruitless anxiety at all, I imagine. That's an anxiety that you live with every day. The drug is sodium valproate.
Right, so it's prescribed as Epilim.
That's the brand name, yeah.
Yeah. However, the drug name itself is sodium valproate. That's the biggest misconception of this whole process. Because when I went to genetics, my then husband went to genetics.
Yeah.
They asked me, did I know of a drug called sodium valproate?
But you were taking it under the name.
But I didn't know. Yeah. And I looked at my husband and I said to him, "Were you on this headache tablet called sodium valproate?" And he looked at me and he said no. And I looked at the genetic doctor and I said, "No, we don't know it. We've never been on it." And he said, "Well, there's another name for it." And when he said Epilim, my whole world fell apart.
Yeah.
And it's a guilt you'll never get over. No matter who says it to you, or how they say it to you, that guilt you'll live with for the rest of your life, and you'll take it to your grave. There's nothing you can do about that.
So you've you blame yourself.
Always.
For what's happened to your children, even though you were doing what you were told by medical professionals.
I will always blame myself. I took it and I put it in my mouth. And I
think there's a lot of people watching at home that are very upset at hearing you blame yourself for something like this right now, Karen. Your babies, they need a lot of care.
Yeah.
A huge amount of care, and they will for the rest of their lives.
Even their faces. You just have to look at their faces. There's features to this drug.
When you talk to other mothers that this happened to, is this shared guilt? Does everyone have this?
They share the same guilt. They sob the way I sob. They break down the way I broke down. And
we don't know what happened in the British inquiry as to whether that will be the case here, causing causing fruitless anxiety. What do you want to happen? What do you want the outcome for this inquiry to be? Because I know you really want this inquiry, Karen.
Yeah, I want accountability. And I want redress. Because nobody, I want justice. Any mother would want the same. Look, no matter how much money that's there, it will never take away from what your child has been through and what he's going to go through and what you're going through and you've gone through since the day you found out this. So the inquiry needs to provide justice, accountability and redress.
I can't imagine the day that you were told. How many years ago is that now, since you put 2 and 2 together?
Sorry?
How many years ago was it since you put 2 and 2 together, since you found out with the geneticist?
I found out in 2001.
2001.
And all those families that came after me.
We do have a statement in from the HSE in relation to the inquiry about the first strand of the inquiry, the second strand, and how long that it is going to happen. There is a time commitment. The HSE say that it will take 12 to 18 months, and I know that you're going to be involved every step of the way. Karen Keely, mother of 3 children who have been affected by the drug Epilim, and Ciara McPhillips, a solicitor involved in this. Thank you both so much for being here with us today. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you.
And our thoughts are with you and everyone involved in this. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thanks.